Hey guys, my name's Niondil, and today I have a bit of a confession to make. I am very, very easily distracted. Remember when I said my next video was going to be going over this? Well, there's not really much redstone that goes into that build. It was more of a design and kind of concept thing. I'll still do a video on it, but I just kind of wanted to mess with Lecterns a little more because I did this Lectern-powered armor stand video, and I love the way it turned out. I mean, seriously, I just love the ability to switch around everything just based off the flipping of a page of a book. I think that's really, really cool. But what that means is I want to go mess around with Lecterns because I haven't really messed around with them in any way except placing this one here and getting the output from it. So I don't really know many of the other properties about the Lectern. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm just going to mess around with the Lectern, and I'm going to see if I can throw it into a couple builds and make something cool out of it. Question number 1, can a Lectern be pushed by a piston? I'm going to guess the answer is probably no, if I can even place it the right way. Okay, the answer is definitely no. So that means we don't really have a portable power source, except for, you know, of course we do have the redstone block, but we don't have a portable adjustable power source. That'd be kind of cool, like a capacitor kind of thing. But we don't have that. Is the Lectern affected by gravity? No, it is not. So the Lectern is basically just a stationary block. Now, one thing I did learn about the Lectern with this, and I'll just kind of go over it with you real quick, is the amount of signal you get from it is based entirely on which page you're on, and that's divided up to be 15 max, because that's the max redstone signal strength. So right here, we just have a page count of 1. So we put that on there, and we are going to get the max 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 signal strength. If we put another thing right here, we get that out. But if we go one more, we don't have any signal. So the way it does it is basically calculating what percentage of the book you are through, and then turning that into the redstone signal. So if I go and I add 15 pages to the book, just of random stuff, and put it on there, at page 1, we will get 1 redstone signal. At page 2, we will get 2. If we flip it all the way up to 14, we get 14, just one shy of our max. But now, if we go and we put even more pages, if we do 30, I wonder how that affects it. Because in theory, it would just be every other page. Okay, so at page 1, we get signal strength of 1. At page 2, we don't. So at page 3, we should. But at page 3, we don't. At page 4, we do. Interesting. And then at page 6, we get 3. And then at page 8, we get 4. Okay, so it does pretty much divide it by 2. It's just these first couple are going to be a little funky because of the fact that it sends 1 out at page 1 anyway. So I think we can definitely use and abuse this in a ton of redstone contraptions. The first thought that came to mind is, of course, making a combination lock to hide a seamless piston door. I already went ahead and built the piston door because I had to work in a tiny, tiny area. I don't know if you see how small my workspace is because I had to go in between these 2 comparators here without any overlay. But if you guys are interested in how to build the piston door itself, I can of course do some videos on that. However, I will say that it is a design that I just took inspiration directly from one of Mumbo Jumbo's old videos, so I will link that video in the description so as to not pull credit from another creator. So we can see that all we have to do to activate and deactivate the piston door is put a signal into that block right there, and then everything else is just timed out proper. Alright, so if I just go and put 15 pages in each of these books, so we have a 15x4 combination lock with the 4 books with 15 pages. Now I can run my full length of redstone dust out. Now before to do a combination lock, you would have had to do an item frame with rotating an item in there, or you could do a chest, or you could do a memory wheel with piston feed tape, and it was terribly complicated. I'm hoping with this, all I really have to do is kind of like a numbered combination lock and just feed this in exactly how I want it to go combo-wise. Let's do page 7. Then page 1 we'll keep there. And then 12, 7. 7, 1, 12, 7. How's that sound? This shouldn't be too difficult in theory, really, because, you know, with the 7, I just... Oh, that's my input there. And then with 1, even simpler. And then 12, and then 7. Okay, so if I do this and put a torch there, then that activates my door, and then deactivates my door. Okay, good. So then I can have that be where my system comes in place. All right, so repeater, 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 and place that like so. Sticky piston, sticky piston, sticky piston. And then our important blocks, because as soon as we push those up out of the way, do this like that. Ooh, never mind. That was kind of a cool one-tick pulse line, though. I want to watch that again. This is a freaking combination lock in its own right. So we can keep that like that. And that's our decoding system pretty much there. I just need to connect the right routes. Because if we have one piston pushed out of the way, then the entire thing shuts off. Oh, because I just made another change to the piston layout just to make the wiring easier to run. I have the alternating so that I can kind of plug these in a little better. So I'm just going to do a redstone torch tower, and that'll get me out of the way, and then I can just kind of run this line, because that will push that into spot. And I can actually shrink this down a little too by having this, so maybe I can't. If I put a block here, it goes one further. But you know what? That's okay if it goes one further. It doesn't have to go to the exact signal strength spot. It just has to make it to where the specific page is what activates it. So that should be fine, and that should make it to where I can not have my lines crossing. And that one's in. So we're halfway done with our combination. Okay, this one is going to want to power the whole thing, but I can honestly just pull that out because my combination post is back here. So this is, to run this tighter, it's a little funky, but it is doable. You just have to be more stubborn than the redstone. And then last but not least is this lad over here. There we go. All right, so that's actually the combination opening all done. So if I just move one of these back to the wrong page, the whole thing closes up. And move it back, the whole thing opens. If I come over here, move this back one, whole thing closes up, and up, the whole thing opens. Now here's the only problem, kind of like the armor selecting stand, we have to put it into where if we're past our point, it'll shut us off. I'm thinking that that could be really, really easy, but I'm also not convinced. I would like to find a way to do this without having to run another piston line. Okay, super, super simple fix there. So what that means is if we have our book at page 12, oh. Easy fix. Everything's an easy fix, I'm just not thinking it through. Okay, so if we put ourselves to page 11, it closes up because it's the wrong page. If we go to page 12, we open up. But if we go to page 13, then we close back up. So it will only work on page 12. And then I just need to run a system like this into the rest of these. So one more power signal out, run that repeater, and then another repeater like that. Bop, bop, bop. And that should be, and then repeater like that. We'll test this one. If I go to a stronger signal strength, 8, whole thing closes up. Guys, I just love lecterns. I've been working on this for half an hour. I don't know if that's really, really good or really, really bad for time, for it to only have taken me half an hour, and yet for it to have still taken half an hour. Okay, so this should be fully working then. We're at 7, 1, 12, 7, and I'm gonna just go reset these all to 1. So these are all at page 1. So what I have to do is I have to come over here, flip this to page 7, leave that one at 1, then 12, and then 7. And that opens the whole door. And of course, you wouldn't want to just have all these with T or a blank page or whatever, because that'd be pretty obvious that there's something weird with the books. You'd want to make it to where, you know, the books actually maybe told a story or had some information or something, so you would flip to it and you could have it to where, like, you know, maybe the first word of each book, each page of the book or something says some secret phrase, and whatever you want to do for it to make it more themed for your build. But at least now we know that the combination lock does indeed work. And I'm quite happy with it. And the seamless piston door here is cool too. And then, yeah, you would come out the back here, and ideally all of this would be blocked off so you wouldn't see any of your redstone. Because nobody likes visible redstone, unless that's the point. What else to build? What else to build? What else can I do with the lecterns? I guess we can make a lectern-powered trap or something? I don't know how effective that would be, but we can give it a go. Okay, so super simple design here. Nothing fancy at all. Basically, the concept is we have a dispenser right there. And once we reach page 5, the dispenser will be activated. And it's on the back side of that painting. And if we go 5, there we go. And that actually went right into the book. But the point is, if I was in survival and I was just flipping through the book, you know, got to page 5, I would take a shot, but I wouldn't quite know where it was from. And then, you know, go through again. I have no idea where I'm getting hit from. Could you improve the trap? Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to. In fact, I have definitely decided that I want to improve the trap. Okay, so I have another trap in place. So you have a nosy person come along, they want to read your book. They're just strolling through the pages. Page 5, they get hit by an arrow. Oh no, it's the end of the world, whatever. But then they decide to keep going. It's page 11. And, it's a bit harsh. It's a bit cruel, sure. But, you know, they're the nosy person that was looking around in your private diary, and then it's not your fault at that point. All right, so the way I have this working is once we get to page... Ignore the arrow at page 5. Once we get to page 11, we have our signatures coming along here, cutting off a torch, which if we look, as I break absolutely everything, except what I want to get to, deactivates this piston. So if we go off of page 11... reactivates, and we're golden. Alright, so I have the combination lock, the trap system here with, you know, the further along you get in the book, the worse the traps get. Question is now, what's my grand finale? I should have done the combination lock for my grand finale, because that was just a good starter. Okay, so I have one more idea, and it's going to be absolutely ridiculous, but I want to make a choose-your-own-adventure style experience. Now, when I was a kid, I absolutely loved choose-your-own-adventure books. Like, they were one of my favorite things ever. But I haven't actually come across a choose-your-own-adventure book or even a choose-your-own-adventure kind of story in quite some time. So I want to make one here. Alright, so my thought is I'm going to have the wall kind of light up in certain spots to indicate, like, gear you're coming across or something like that. So, alright, so I'm trying to get it to where you have 4 Alright, so I'm trying to get it to where you have 4 collectible items that you can come across. So the first one being a sword, then some armor, and then a horse. And what should the last item be? What would you get when you win the game, the adventure? I am putting way too much effort into this freaking choose your own adventure book, but I'm having so much fun. Alright, so you have your sword, and then we'll go... That's page 3, page 4, 5, 6, 7. We will give you the armor. 9, you get your horse. Is it the prettiest route in the world? No. But does it work? Hopefully. Out of this one, we will run the one to become king. Because, spoiler alert, we're gonna become king. And we're just gonna run this the exact same way we've run this one so far. Alright, so that is everything for acquiring your items. Alright, so we go to page 3, we get our sword. Go to page 7, we get our armor. Page 9, we get the horse. Page 13, we get the crown. So now, I need to write the book. You start your journey with nothing but the ragged clothes on your back and a rusty dagger on your hip. If you decide to go talk to the blacksmith about getting a sword, then you continue onward. If you don't, then page 15, you die. You just die. Wait it out. Turn to page 15. This is a lot like Zork or one of those old Choose Your Own Adventure books that I used to read where you would definitely die every single time you chose to do something. Alright, I think we're good with the Choose Your Own Adventure book. So I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm just going to walk you guys through it and we're just going to see how it goes, and I hope this works well. You start your journey with nothing but the ragged clothes on your back and a rusty dagger on your hip. Where do you go first? Blacksmith, turn to page 2. Journey onward, turn to page 15. I'm just going to show you guys what happens when you go to page 15. It's not the best. You died. But then you can just retry, bop, and it'll send you right back up. I am happy with how that works, because I think this is kind of cool. Just the skull and the lantern and everything, and then bop. There you go, and you can try again. The blacksmith welcomes you kindly, but unfortunately you cannot afford his wares. Offer to help around the forge, turn to page 3, leave the shop, turn to page 1. The blacksmith has you run some deliveries for him and grab some fresh coal for the forge, and in return he gives you with a nice iron sword. Now at page 3 we can see that the lights around the iron sword have lit up, so we have our iron sword. In order to win, quote unquote, you need to get all 4 items here: the sword, the armor, the horse, and the crown. Alright, well thank you guys for watching. I did hope you enjoy. I know this was a really weird random video. I didn't have any plans really for it. I just wanted to test around some things with the Lecterns, see how it goes, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I mean, I absolutely love our combination lock system here. I mean, everything about it just worked far better than I was actually expecting it to, and it's just really cool, I think. And then the trap system over here, you know, sure, maybe it's not the best, like, concept in the world, but, you know, things can happen. You never know what your friends are going to be doing in your place. And then building off of that, where we have the Choose Your Own Adventure book over here, I just had a ton of fun with this. I know it's not the best novel writing in the world, but look, it's a 15-page Choose Your Own Adventure book. I don't know what you were expecting. I don't have that much room to work with. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you want to see more of, and if you like these random experimenting, you know, walkthrough style videos, then I'll do more of those. And if you want to see more of the structured tutorials, as I said in my last video, just let me know and I'll do those as well. But anyway, thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your day.